Well, hello. Welcome to another video where today we're going to be talking about the inverse of nemesis within the context of Resident Evil. Which, yeah, a bit of a weird video, but hey, why not? And if you do happen to join the video, please do make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel as we're on our way to 100 subscribers and it continues to motivate me to make more videos like this. So, yeah, please do enjoy the video. To start off the Resident Evil 0 section of this video, I do want to note that anything from this game is kind of just inferior to even Resident Evil 1, as the T-virus used by James Marcus is blatantly just below the one used by, well, obviously William Birkin, with Birkin just blatantly being leaps and bounds above, so really anything here is just below RE1, which, yeah, there isn't much reason to really go into this, but hey, why not? Including the Queen Leech, but yeah, the Queen Leech ain't doing much, similar to the Proto-Tyrant, who's just inferior to Tyrant 002, so yeah, that's just kind of it for the RE0 section. There isn't too much to it, but I mean, hey, if you want to know if any good enemies here, I guess, there's the Stinger, I guess. I don't fucking know. Listen, RE0 is the weakest for a reason, and yeah, James Marcus, you're cool and all, but you are definitely weak alongside the Proto-Tyrant. So, yeah. Yeah, they are kind of the weakest, so yeah, moving on to RE1. Also, forgot to mention, before moving on to the next section of the video, I should mention that the reason Nemesis would upscale this is just based off the fact that, well, I don't know, he's got the modified strain, which is actually strengthened by the NEA parasite, which, yeah, definitely does explain why he's a lot more powerful, but yeah, I almost forgot to mention that, but yeah, let's move on to RE1 now. So this section of the video is going to be a bit shorter because really there isn't much changing, outside of the fact that it's still just the improved strain of the T-virus. It still doesn't change the fact that Nemesis has an improved version. So really, this is just a repeat of the previous one. I mean, the only difference now is it's better than RE0, but that's kind of about it. Let's just move on to RE2, I guess. I mean, I guess the Mr. X section, I don't fucking know. This is just me recording it, but yeah, there really isn't much difference. I'm just trying to get some time, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm just yapping, but yeah. RE1 isn't much different from RE0, just a slightly better strain, so yeah. Now for the first part of this Resident Evil 2 section, we are going to be talking about the T00, aka Mr. X. And the big thing to note in comparison to RE0 and 1 is the fact that Mr. X is an improved version of the original Tyrant, meaning he should be above the other two, which definitely does give him a big advantage in comparison to the others, as, unlike them, he does share that with Nemesis of them both being a T103, which definitely gives him the advantage, but that also won't help him as much, as we'll see soon. As despite the fact they are both a T103 model, Nemesis himself is an improved version of it, which means he would be a lot stronger compared to the T103, aka Mr. X. So that entire point of them both being the same model, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything when Nemesis is already an improved version due to the Nemesis parasite. Sorry, I fucked that up, but yeah, it's just the Nemesis parasite on the T103 body, so yeah, it's just an improved version of that. Not really much to say really here, outside of the fact that, yeah, like I mentioned many times, it's just an improved version of Mr. X. So yeah, let's get into the other part of the RE2 section. Now with this part of the video, we're going to be talking about William Birkin, aka the man who was behind the G-virus, who, unlike the other BOWs we've discussed so far from RE0 to RE2, he would actually be a lot stronger because of the fact that he's using the G-virus as he injected himself with it, and because of that, the G-virus itself is also stated to be above the T-virus, which definitely does pose a bigger threat of how does Nemesis actually defeat him at this point. But there is actually one very big difference between William Birkin and Nemesis, with that big difference being the fact that William Birkin is unable to take any hits from the Sword of Persilius, as said by the statement right here. Which, yeah, definitely does pose a big problem, as Nemesis, unlike William Birkin, can take 2 shots from it and still live, which poses a bigger threat of, hey, this motherfucker can actually take the shots while the other can't. So, yeah, it seems as if Nemesis would actually clear RE2. Even William Birkin couldn't stop him because of this fact. So, yeah, let's move on to the final section of the video. Now, for the final section of this video, we'll be talking about 2 enemies from Resident Evil Code Veronica, with those 2 enemies being known as the Bandersnatch and Alexia Ashford. As starting off with the easier one of the 2, that being the Bandersnatch, who in all reality is just a far shittier version of the T103, as it even states it was meant to be mass-produced and stuff, and yeah, it was kind of a really terrible version of it. So yeah, that's kind of just it for the Bandersnatch. That's kind of all there is for it. So yeah, moving on to Alexia Ashford. Now with Alexia Ashford, her case is a bit weird because she's adapted to something called the T Veronica virus, which is for some reason considered less dangerous than the T or G virus, which is a bit weird, but yeah, that's not all though. As during the events of Code Veronica, which is only set 3 months after the events of RE2 and 3, she was able to defeat Wesker and even force him to retreat, leaving behind Chris to fight her alone, which is a very impressive feat, as even before the events of Code Veronica, Albert Wesker was able to kill the Proto-Tyrant during RE0, as Umbrella Chronicles does reveal this. So yeah, that's already an impressive feat on its own, being above the Proto-Tyrant, with Wesker also being able to defeat the Ivan twins, which are actually deviants of a T-103, which yeah, definitely adds her being above even the likes of Mr. X or the T-00, which, as impressive as it sounds, Nemesis is already just above both of them just from the fact that he's an evolved version of the T-103. So yeah, this was kind of just pointless, but I guess a cool thing to add for Alexia. Now, there is a pretty big flaw with Alexia Ashford, and that's the fact that the way she dies is through something called a linear launcher, which is considered an anti-BOW weapon, which is very similar in concept to the sort of Persilius, except the fact that this is a handheld launcher instead. So it's kind of like the whole William Birkin situation, except, well, yeah, it's Alexia Ashford. With the final nail in the coffin being the fact that Nemesis has been stated to be Umbrella's most powerful assassin, which, unlike Alexia, who also works there, she has never had that statement, meaning Nemesis should in fact be superior, though I think that just depends on how you feel about it. But yeah, so yeah, that's the video for Nemesis's inverse and how far he actually gets. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video.